Hello everyone and welcome to this workshop.
It's good to see you that we've got lots of guests, lots of people interested in cost-effective marketing. And once you've achieved a cost-effective marketing plan, how to then go on and sell it. And that's going to be the topic. Firstly, let's talk about using free publicity. I mean, obviously, there are a number of things that you can do from an agency point of view. But the important thing to remember is that you've got to create some kind of buzz about yourself. So you have to have something interesting. And perhaps in the old days, it used to be newsworthy because publishers would be hungry for newsworthy items, which, their journalists would publish on your behalf. I mean, just to give you a very, very old example. If a dog bites a man, that's not newsworthy. But if a man bites a dog, that is newsworthy. So you get the picture. It's got to be something quite interesting. And obviously, from a business point of view, whatever you're selling, your product, your service, you have to make that seem as interesting and as newsworthy as possible. Clearly, for some years now, so this is not something new, social media, it has become an extremely important part, getting recognition for your products, your services, your company, raising awareness. And, I don't need to tell you guys, what platforms are out there. There are, a number of platforms. Platforms are being created, practically every day. And each platform obviously has a different method of presentation. I mean, just to give you the obvious example, LinkedIn, for instance, is purely about business networking. And so, if you're very interested in networking with other businesses, if you're, from just networking point of view or, selling your products and services to other business, so business to business, rather than business to consumer, clearly LinkedIn is, an extremely good platform to be engaging with. Creating partnerships with other organizations. No man is an island, no company is an island. So it is so important to maximize on opportunities to form partnerships, strategic partnerships with other organizations. I mean, I work a lot in the charity sector, and I know that one of the big partnerships is with charities and organizations that have something in common. And, if you can align yourself with a charity, for instance, they can give you no end of publicity. And all of this is obviously free. It's done for mutual advantage. Whether you are a single marketeer, a digital marketeer, or whether you work as part of a team, then, it's pretty important to recognize what it is that you are an expert in. What do you have enough time to do? So you win the business from a client, but can you do it all yourself? You've got to be honest about that. And if there are areas that you can't, then clearly the best way forward is to be forming partnerships. And there are some really fantastic examples of successful partnerships that have been built. The other obvious one, believe it or not, there are sites that you can go to which you can build a website free. So these days, we all need a shop window, and having a website is, pretty much part of the course. It's pretty important to have yourself some kind of website. And then once you've got the website up, to drive traffic to that. Again, once you've built up a customer base, business is lost if you don't maintain extremely good, frequent communication with your customers. Getting to know your customers intimately, understanding what their needs are is extremely important, to grow your business. And one obvious example is that will give you, real loyalty in terms of your connection with your customers. And then, these are not in necessarily the appropriate order, but we'll go through them anyway. Now, another way we ought to grow our business is through networking. And there are, again, I mentioned charities. Networking with charities is a fantastic way to network, but obviously networking with other businesses, other organizations, like-minded organizations that can help take your business to another level. And if you are a marketeer, whether you're a single person or you belong to a team, as I do, then it's really important. I happen to have a CEO that since the day I started working for the organization, networking, you must network. And that applies to every single department, the business that I work for. So I'm very used to having that message, and it's an important message of collaboration with other organizations. As I mentioned earlier, once you've set up your agency, whether it's again as a single agent or as part of a team, the thing will only survive on customers. All business needs customers, all businesses need clients. And, we're in the business now of selling digital marketing services to business in general, and in particular to local business as well, because, I'm choosing to talk about local business because quite often the bigger organizations, even though we as a company, we're approaching big organizations to offer our digital services. And indeed, we are very competitive with any organization in the world. Selling to local businesses is often a great place to start. And so clearly it's understood that for any local business, but any local business to stay competitive, they must invest. It'd be wise to invest in digital marketing services. And the reason for this is that a lot of, particularly local business, let's look at that as an example. The business owners don't have a great deal of time and understanding in many cases on how to take their business forward. So right at the beginning, there's an opportunity to get a client from the local or mid-level business sector, because they just don't, not only often they don't understand the full complexity of digital marketing services, and often they don't want to understand it. They just want to have their lives made easier, and they want to stay competitive. So that in itself gives us a great opportunity to approach that level of business to sell our services. And that really brings us on to, selling those services. I've put as a heading for people not to be a traditional salesperson. And because in every sector of sales, the vast majority of salespeople all sound the same. They all basically sound the same. And when you've got a business that's being bombarded with communications, robotic communications, and call centers to sell their services, they literally just switch off. It's very, very hard to be selling to these people. So, and we'll deal with this in more complexity, or we'll go more into this in other sessions. But in terms of the way our own teams, I am at pains to let our teams know, and this is something, even if you're not a traditional salesperson as such, but you are forming you want to be a marketing agent, or you want to sell your marketing services, you've got to know how to sell these services. It's as simple as that. And the thing to remember is that you have to try not to sound like a traditional salesperson. Bear that in mind for those people wanting to sell, that you have to find a way, you have to find a script that's not like everybody else's script, because your rejection rate will be quite substantial. One of the attitudes that we need to have as a salesperson is that you've got to go into that process wanting to help the client, okay? Wanting to help the client. You're not going into, which I'll talk about when we come on to selling to their aspirations instead of their bank accounts. As digital marketing salespeople, your job is to really be enthusiastic about helping a business grow that business, rather than thinking about any commission or any new business that you might bring. Okay? So if you have that attitude that you actually genuinely want to help that business, particularly that small business, where often you're going to have to do this sort of thing face to face. I mean, we as an organization, we are quite adept at cold calling and, using any means, whether it's by email or by making direct contact with these businesses by phone. But you really have to be on top of your game to be able to do that. Now, the alternative is to be able to visit these people, these businesses, whether it's a medium-sized business or small business, to visit them, because that offers a little bit more authenticity. That is not an email that they've been bombarded with day in and day out. You're a real person, and in front of a person you can show that you care and that you are very interested in helping them rather than selling to them. Now, in that process, this is something that I pass on in our internal sales training, that we've got, questioning is everything. Questioning is everything. You as someone that from the outside will not know what's going on with that client's business if you don't ask questions. So then we have to look at the type of questions that we're asking, the quality of questions, how we're asking it. And all of this is being done so that we understand exactly where that business is coming from. So that, it might be, for instance, that that particular business is doing everything right, but their content is wrong. Well, you won't know that until you ask questions about their content. Clearly, we'll see what their content is like, but unless we ask questions about that, we're not going to be able to sell them that aspect of our services. So it's important to collaborate with clients in that way by asking questions. And the byproduct of that is that they see you as some kind of assistant to them. They see you as we see a doctor when we go to see a doctor. What does a doctor do? He asks us questions. And if he doesn't ask us questions, how the hell is he going to know? And that's what we have to. We have to work alongside these clients and make sure that, we're asking the questions. Remember, at this point, we're not trying to close them. We're just trying to find out, take notes and find out exactly where they stand as a business. As a digital marketing service, a salesperson that are offering these services, we know that we can just jump onto somebody's website and we can get so much before we even speak to them. The first thing is they might not even have a website. So immediately, what kind of marketing service are you going to be selling them? That would be a website, wouldn't it? If they've got a website, if they've already got one, what's their SEOs like? Yeah? What are their SEOs like? Immediately, that's something that you can talk to them about and just explain to them that given the quality of their business, what they're doing, they should have a much higher ranking. So there you go. You proved your case that by asking questions, by having a look at what they are about, that will tell you what you need to be selling them. Okay? And they can't help but agree with you. You need to find out what's really important to them. Like I know, as far as our own CEO is concerned, I know that if I could sell him something that will free up some more time for him, he will grab it with both hands. And that's his aspiration, time. So if you can sell something which is going to reduce the amount of time they have to spend in a certain area of their business, then that is more important to him instead of you trying to sell him something that he doesn't need. So if you realize that this CEO, this business owner is more interested in creating time for himself, then sell him a solution that will help him do that. Yeah, digitally, of course. Yeah, he might need something. He might need a way of being able to analyze his inventory over the weekend. He's having to come in and physically do these things over the weekend. Yeah, but if we could automate that system digitally for him, then that's what's important to him, and that's what we should be selling him. Okay, and it isn't real business until the deal that you're trying to make with him is closed. Now, I was going to say at the very beginning of the talk that if anybody wants to upgrade their digital marketing services, all they have to do is join WhatsOn. Okay, all right. And I'm aware that we've got a number of students tuning in, and I want to tell you now, okay, very early in your academic career, that as soon as you've finished your studies, and as soon as you start to become a digital marketing person, your next step is to join WhatsOn. Okay, and I expect to see every one of you being a part of our team in years to come. All right, so in terms of a general overview, that's what I feel strongly about. In terms of the aspiration of the Digital Academy, we obviously it's a free service, so we are practicing what we preach. And over a period of time, we're going to be going into the minutiae of what it takes to become a successful digital marketing service. As I've already said, you don't need to worry about that, just join WhatsOn. And secondly, and more importantly, how you are going to sell that service to business in general and local business. So that's it in terms of the overview. I'm very interested to know what kind of questions people have and to hear what their aspirations are. And the reason I want that is because the kind of academy we are growing into, we consider feedback from our participants in the academy very important, and that will help shape our academy moving forward.
Hi Michael, it is such a pleasure to meet you. What are your thoughts on memes as an effective marketing strategy?
From what I've gathered, memes are really gaining in popularity at the moment. It seems to be registering with Generation Z. TikTok, obviously, if you go onto that platform, you'll see memes being used an awful lot. The fact of the matter is, a lot of people respond to memes and they can convey the message in an image that would take many words to convey the same message. So go ahead and use memes, but just remember that the market that you are using it towards, and make sure, usually a younger market responds to that a lot better.
Thank you, Shamudeep. And next move to Zarin Tasnim Zarin?
Hello, I'm Zarin Tasnim.
I'm very pleased to meet you.
I'm currently studying computer science and engineering on AIUB Independent University, Bangladesh. I
Thank
had
you.
a question about marketing because I have small businesses on social media platforms. So I wanted to ask Michael, from your experience, which method you find more effective to promote or boost your business?
Well, the thing with our business is that we engage with all platforms. We don't we discriminate when we have content that is relevant to that particular marketplace. We have a very targeted approach to that content. I've already spoken about TikTok, obviously Facebook, YouTube, but computer sciences, I would definitely start when the time comes and you want to expand you as a brand. I would definitely engage with LinkedIn, and how you do that, you would have to come up with a good marketing plan, whether it's to sell yourself so that you can join an organization, or you're selling the knowledge that you have. LinkedIn would be your best course of action. So do bear that in mind when the time comes. Just start getting used to posting things about yourself and ideas that you've got. Please engage with the platform on a regular basis, because this is the message for all people wishing to maximize the response from these platforms. You need to be engaging with the platform. I don't know, currently, how often are you posting things on the platform?
I don't usually post anything on LinkedIn yet, but I'm
Consider
observing people post. Yeah, I'm observing people post a lot of stuff, so I'm guessing I'll start very soon.
Yeah, consider it. Try to find a unique selling point of what you're doing. I'm sure you said you're selling you're doing other sales, but I'm sure that you can look at what it is, what the ideas you've got, what it is that you think you can bring different to the industry, and it's that sort of content that you need to be posting. It doesn't matter if you get it wrong to begin with, but just get used to putting plenty of stuff on plenty of content on the platform. Thanks very much for your question.
Thank you so much, Michael. Thank you.
Now move to Bithi.
Hello, I am Bithi. Currently, I'm studying in Shandong University of China. It's my 4th year, so I'm new here on the WhatsOn platform. It's really nice to meet you, Mr. Michael.
And to you.
Thank you. So my question is that I want to know about selling beauty products. Not only beauty products, actually it has some varieties. So since I'm planning to open a business, so I want to know more about it. How to deal with customer, or how to post things perfectly so that I can get more attention. So please, if you can describe it for me.
Well, obviously beauty products, very image related, and the platform that I'm immediately thinking about is Instagram. And important, I don't know how you're selling your products at the moment, but I would certainly consider posting more about the products that you're selling on Instagram. Obviously, I would even consider creating a Facebook page as well. And again, it's just, I don't know if you've developed your own products or whether you're using branded products. I don't know.
No, it's gonna be a branded products, of course. Because
branded products
is more safe.
Yeah, great. Then the competition is fierce in that arena. However, don't let that stop you. Just find interesting ways of presenting that content, and I would certainly do that on Instagram rather than anything else. I don't know if anyone else has a different opinion on it than me. But you know, I wouldn't put those products on LinkedIn, for instance. You know, just to give you the obvious, don't do. But Instagram, Facebook, TikTok is absolutely fantastic. You know, putting together a small film with these branded products on not only will gain favor with the brands themselves, so you should consider letting the brands themselves know that you're promoting their products and setting up some kind of partnership with them. So then you need to do some research. You need to look at who the influencers are and you know, try to message these influencers, and again try to get some kind of partnership going. But failing all of that, find interesting ways of presenting the products, particularly on Instagram. Thanks very much for your questions. It's a very interesting question. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sajid Iqbal, are you there?
Hello, I'm Sajid Iqbal. I'm currently pursuing my undergraduate degree on Jahangirnagar University. My major is urban and regional planning. It's been a great session with you. I've enjoyed it. And I had a little question about it, that how we can use the emotional marketing while making a deal.
Emotional marketing. Well, that's a new term for me, but I suspect what I point towards whenever I'm giving sales training is that you know, you've got to, people usually buy things emotionally, and then they reflect on the decision that they've made in a logical way. So it is important to make sure that, you know, people you know, are feeling the emotion of what it is that you're trying to do. When you're selling a car, you are actually selling the four wheels and the vehicle and everything, but more importantly, you're selling the experience of driving that car. And if it happens to be a flash sports car with the top down, you're selling the experience of, you know, driving along a Californian coast road with the top down and the wind blowing through your hair. And that is an emotional way of selling. Unfortunately,
Exactly. Yeah.
Unfortunately, I can't myself experience that unless I'm wearing a wig.
That's funny.
No, but there is an emotional aspect to all sales, and the key is just to make sure that person, you know, is feeling what you're saying, and you'll get the buying signals from them, and that's how you take that sales process to the close. That's an excellent question, and if you obviously, if you attend the Academy on a regular basis, we can look at some of the ways that we can prompt an emotional response from people, which will help you with your sales moving forward. But that's an excellent question. Thank you.
Next, move to Samsul Huda. He wants to know about the event management, how to open an event management company, how to start. Michael.
Well, event management is a pretty saturated arena, but of course, you know that there's still a lot of opportunity to manage events. Obviously, you need to be thinking about the kind of events that you want to manage. You need to be looking at existing events, and then contacting the people that are running that event, and try to find ways that you could improve on the way that is being managed. And then, of course, you're left, once you've done that, once you've identified some potential clients, then you again need to be selling your service as an event manager. And that's something that you could successfully do on LinkedIn, and you could also, Facebook would be a very good one. Even Instagram would be a very good platform. But again, you have to be able to identify, potential clients. One that springs to mind at the moment is perhaps local authorities. Local authorities around the world, put on events for their constituents, and that might be a good place to start. A local authority, a local council. Have a look at the events that they put on. Have a look at previous events that they put on, and just see and be honest, whether you could do a better job. And then clearly pitch those people, with your ideas of how you could successfully, take that event on. Also, you could consider putting on your own events as well. It doesn't have to be big to start off with. It could be a marketing event. You could rent some space or get some space locally and invite local business in to ascertain and network with those local businesses and find out whether you could, put on events for them. So there's lots of different ways you could approach it, but the thing to do is to have a unique selling point of what you're offering. Put that to people that you feel might be interested in buying into your service, and see what kind of response you get. Failing that, you could simply advertise the fact that you are an event planner or an event promoter, and see what kind of response you get. And again, you could use any number of the platforms to do that.
Uking, introduce yourself and go to your question.
I'm Uking Mane. I'm currently studying in WhatsOn University of Science and Technology at BBA program. আমার একটা অনলাইন বিজনেস ছিল, আমি আমার কাস্টমারগুলোকে মানে হারাই ফেলছি। আমি ঢাকায় মুভ করার পরে যেহেতু আমি ওই কাস্টমারগুলোকে আর পাচ্ছি না, তারা হচ্ছে আমি যেহেতু রাঙ্গামাটিতে আমার বিজনেস ছিল, তো ওরা হচ্ছে ওইখান থেকে ওরা হচ্ছে ডেলিভারি পেতে ওদের জন্য সুবিধা হতো। এখন আমি ঢাকায় মুভ করার পরে আমি আর তাদেরকে পাচ্ছি না। তো এমন সিচুয়েশনে আমি এখন কিভাবে আমার কাস্টমারগুলোকে আবার গেটার করতে পারি?
Right, okay. So if you've got an online business, then it shouldn't matter where you are in the world. So I'm a little bit I'd need to know what kind of business it is, because if you have an online business, and I could be I could sell my products and services, well, perhaps not so much my service, anywhere in the world. So what kind of business was it? And, what I don't see how it would make a difference where she is. So just give me a little bit more insight into what her business was.
আমার হচ্ছে চায়না থেকে আমি বিভিন্ন ক্লোদিং প্রোডাক্ট এবং হচ্ছে বিভিন্ন ধরনের অর্নামেন্টস নিয়ে আসতাম। এখন ওসব কিছু আমি সেল করতাম।
To be honest, unless somebody else has another insight, I don't think it matters where you are. Clearly, your logistics from China to Bangladesh is going to be the same no matter what city you're in. If you are saying that you import the products and you import the products, but you're only making sales of those products in a certain area, then it's simply a question of setting up, new methods of selling it into your into the new area that you are. Also, I spoke earlier about partnerships. It might be wise for you to try to find a partner in the area that you came from to carry on the business. Since it's location dependent, then what would it cost you to network with some people to try to keep that established clientele going, and then try to establish a new clientele in the area that you are. If I'm used to selling products in Birmingham and I move to London, then I get my orders through my website. I don't see what difference it makes whether I'm in London. I can still sell products to Birmingham. But if somehow there needs to be a physical person in Birmingham, then I would need to find a partner to carry on, to fulfill those orders in that region, and then do exactly the same thing in London, just to give you an example. Because you did it once, you can certainly do it again in your new location.
Anamul Haq done a question as a learner, which social media should I get for my mom's food business? And is networking really important for it? If yes, how to do networking?
I think for any small business of that nature, Facebook would seem to be a good platform to be working with, to set up a Facebook page. Then, of course, you need to find some way of attracting the hot food customers. Since you want to be online and you can add value to any business by being online, I would consider Facebook as set up a Facebook page and attract engagement that way. Okay. The other thing is it's important if you to advertise the business that she's in, and also to network. Networking is very important there, physical networking. So your mum would or yourself would have to perhaps go to the market, anywhere where there's a lot of people, perhaps join an organization where you could provide that hot food for. Perhaps set up some kind of street food stall, and gradually build up the engagement that way, both physical engagement and engagement through her network page, her Facebook page. That would be a course of action that I would take if I was considering selling hot food to local people. Then I would want to be where the local people are. And I can't think of a better place to do that than in a marketplace, in a shopping centre. We have places called pop-up shops in the UK where businesses can take out space that's unoccupied and set up a business to see, whilst the lease is being sorted out, to see whether they can do some business that way. But definitely some kind of street food, some kind of stall. The other thing, of course, is if you're doing hot food, then you really, another area you could look at is making food for weddings and special occasions. So one of the ways that you could advertise would be to make sure people are aware that if they're having a party, a special occasion, then hot food can be provided. So you need to put a menu together, you need to put some prices together and really try and scale up that opportunity. Okay.
Questions. Arif Hossein Onik. He has a question about the health products. How to promote the health products?
It's the same principle that what I'm trying to get across here. It's the same principle that you use when you're trying to sell anything. Is firstly, you must have an appropriate product range for that particular client base. Health food is an extremely big market. So don't worry. If you've got, and again, you need to be looking at specializing and finding a niche market within that overall marketplace. I don't know whether you're buying in branded products to sell, health products to sell, or whether you actually are making it yourself. If you're making it yourself, then clearly there will be a unique selling point to it. In which case, I would certainly use Facebook as a good starting point for a platform. And again, networking. try to get some recommendations from people that have used the products and believe in the products, so that anyone buying the product can see that other people have used it and have found health benefits from it. Certainly think about setting up your own website. If you have
he has
enough
another question.
Yes.
How can I get good results when I do marketing from my country to another country?
Well, again, as I've just said, that it actually doesn't matter where you are. You can operate your company, your business from anywhere in the world. The important thing to remember when you're selling products and services to another country is you really do need to understand the what the demand, what your marketplace is like in that other country. So selling, I mean, in the UK, for instance, it's so cosmopolitan that literally any kind of product can be sold here. Okay, literally any kind of product can be sold in the UK. If you want to, you need to do your research and find out whether there is a demand for that particular product. And if there is, then you can go ahead and sell that from whatever country you're based in. You can even do an affiliate program. You can work with you can work with Amazon. Okay. There is so many different ways that you can sell products from anywhere in the world. From selling from your own website. We've already spoken about using different platforms, different other social media platforms that you can work with. So, power to you. If you want to sell products internationally to another country, as long as you know that there's a reasonable demand for that product and you can fulfill the orders, I would encourage it. I would encourage it.
Tanjila's question is how can I drive marketing traffic site immediately for social media marketing? Okay, does not go to Michael. I am answering it. You have to do campaign, a lot of campaign like traffic campaign from Facebook. You will get a traffic campaign in the promotion, and in Twitter or in LinkedIn you will also get the traffic campaign option in the promotion. And digital marketing is better. SEO, SMM. SEO is the best, but if you want immediate result, then you have to go to SMM and PPC.
We have got one more question from our Facebook Messenger, and it's from Sam Alim. So I hope Mr. Sam is here. So can you please unmute and tell us where are you from and what your question is?
Thank you very much, Navid.
Yeah.
Okay, my question is to Michael. Thank you for taking the time out and from your schedule. Is how is AI, machine learning, and robotics transforming the marketing world?
Well, I think first off, whenever you're using automated methods of reaching clients and potential to collaborate with organizations globally, you're going to reach a lot more people using these tools. So that's the first thing. So also, these tools often have ways of monitoring and of fulfilling any potential. Robotics are very, very efficient at monitoring and dealing with, first level inquiries. So for some businesses, that's a really, really good option. If you want to sincerely mass market your efforts, then clearly turning to to those tools would help you tremendously. I mean, we all know when we go on websites, we get pop-ups. We go on a website where there's a virtual assistant. Yeah, that's not a real person. That's often I'm contacting organizations and I'm not getting a real person. I'm getting a robot. And these robots are very, very astute these days. They can almost have a conversation with you before they need to actually translate to get someone to deal with your inquiry. Even the bank, I mean, sometimes I'm contacting the bank and it's at least 10 minutes of a real long conversation with a robot to some people. But certainly, if your intention is to reach a mass market, then these tools are invaluable. And, you know, I would recommend them. I must just say, though, having said that, like a lot of these innovations, sometimes, particularly if you want to sell something, Sam, sometimes people build up a resistance against them, right? Because it's quite easy to tell where these inquiries have come from. So the people that own the software will tell you that they get fantastic results from using it, and no doubt in the early days that was the case. But as time goes on, people are becoming AI and robotic assistant kind of, they're building up walls against them. But I wouldn't put anybody off from trying it.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you for this awesome session, and thank you mostly all of the participants who have joined from all over the places. This mainly goes to you, and thank you for all the active participants who have completed the workshop, the full workshop from day 1 to day 3. Learning the Facebook and Instagram marketing, learning the Google SEOs, and finally cost-effective way of marketing from Michael. I really believe it has made you or have taught something that you are missing, a little bit of something that will help you to move forward. And as Michael already said, join the WhatsOn and move forward with your game. And if you want something more plus, please join the WhatsOn Plus, as already the link is given in the chat box, where you can actively ask the question, because this session may be over in a couple of minutes, but that doesn't mean the bonding that we have already created here is finished. So the bonding will continue, and the lesson we have learned, we can discuss it further and further and develop it more. From our digital marketing expert Rimel Bhai to marketing expert Michael, all of them are present in WhatsOn Plus. So join there and you can really build your career. You can have the free mentors there. They are sitting just to help you out with your marketing strategies. So just join in and help your marketing career boost a bit more from now on. Michael, really thanks to you. And for that, I would like to everyone, please unmute and give a clap. So that's the least we can do for Michael, right? So we can just unmute ourselves and clap, give a clap for Michael for his wonderful session.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you so much, everyone. We'll now sign off and see you again in next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.